Hello and welcome back to another episode of Boston College Dynasty here on College Football 26. In the last episode, we took on Clemson. They were the number 3 team in the nation at the time, fallen to number 10 since the loss. I wish we had more bragging rights, but obviously Cade Klubnik, if you missed it, was hurt, did not play, still out for 2 more weeks. Walked into that week as the Heisman favorite. Obviously, if they have him, totally different ball game. Christopher Vizina was their backup. He threw 3 picks, struggled a lot. Looking ahead to this week at UConn will be one of 2 of the games we play in this episode. They've got a pretty interesting roster. Skylar Bell is their most impactful player, but Cam Edwards, very, very good in his own right. Mel Brown, another great backup running back. The 2-man backfield here works very well together. It's a great tandem. Cam Chadwick going to look to lock down Lewis Bond for the day. Damon Brinson might show up on him, but he's more of his own cover guy. They've got a very good defense, lots of impact players. They are led by Joe Fagnano, the quarterback, senior, former 1-star out of Williamsport, Pennsylvania. Not a terribly inaccurate quarterback, very average accuracy, pretty average arm strength, although for UConn, he's exactly what they need. Someone who will make most of the throws, not a, floor raiser. He also helps, get everybody else involved. They've got a good backfield. He's going to hand it off a lot, trying to get Skylar Bell the ball as well. Naeem Simmons, very good impact player. Caleb Burton III, a young up-and-coming player. Probably will get some snaps. But overall, not an incredibly talented team. They have a decent O-line. Definitely on the right side is where we can attack. I suspect they won't get much pressure on us. And other than Taekwon King and Brian. Is that Brian? I have never seen Brian spelt that way, but there you go. Brian Parham is another great Mike over the middle. Sion Moa, also average player. Their secondary falls off a cliff after their 2 impact players here. Lee Millett III, the senior, is one of the better options at safety. Not a lot of guys with speed. Kamoy Latu at least has something, I guess. And they've got decent kicking staff. Again, nothing to be too freaked out about. I don't suspect that this game against UConn is going to be too competitive. That's why we're going to throw Louisville at the end of the episode. I will remember to record both of the games. I've got a new process. Shouldn't be losing any footage. And even if I do lose footage, I'll just record it in post-com. If the videos do take a little bit longer to come out, I'm sorry about that. But just trying to make the process as smooth as I can. So, yeah, 2-game episode. But quickly, I do want to just take a look at recruiting. Quandre Cotton, the 4-star gem, we're very excited to have him, as well as Joey Fantuz is another member of our linebacker room. Stevie Finger is a very, very important part of this team as well. And I'm hoping, as he does have elite development, that we will be able to get his commitment after this week. The gadget receiver, Brian Vernon, is also a member of the team. Just want to make sure, in case this is your first episode of the series you're seeing, that you are caught up. We're in a lot of different battles here. Sean Griggs visited last week, hoping to secure his commitment, and plenty of other battles, some of them that were just starting. Alex Barbosa, if you missed this, another elite dev player. Another thing to keep in mind is that we have progression set to auto. That's going to be something that's just through the season. I still want auto progression to be off, specifically in the off season when we get those points. Instead of having them auto progress at that point, I'm going to have just a little bit of control of how they develop as players. If you're also not aware, we have buffed the transfer portal. I haven't buffed the transfer chance, as I think most of the transfers on our team are pretty realistic as is. I might bump this in the future if players that should want to transfer don't want to. We're going to try and keep it somewhat realistic, but at the same time, I don't want to make it so that we can't sustain success or retain any players, even if the team's playing well. With all that said and all that housekeeping out of the way, we're going to get into this game against UConn. And don't let the low overall fool you. 71 across the board. We're more than just the favored team here. But they are 4-2 for a reason. It's not just an easy schedule. I'm going to have them wear the all whites. We'll just wear our standard homes. And there we are. Tearing through the flag. Love to see it. UConn is an independent school, so They are currently obviously not a part of the ACC, so worst case, if we do get upset, it won't affect our conference record. But we do intend on winning this game, and we're going to start it on the kickoff, knock them down, start at the 18. Again, Skylar Bell and Cam Chadwick, two very high-impact players. We'll just have to see if we can keep them contained. They're going to kick this off with a little run. They break a couple tackles, but eventually Omar Thornton comes in for the loss of 3. Second and 13, Blackwell making a play and holds him for a gain of 1. Still a net loss of 2 on those 2 plays. Thankful to our linebacker room. And they're going to start this 3rd and 12. And, we just at the last minute stopped staying with them. Blackwell had that tracked the whole way. Just didn't stay with the ball at the end. Obviously allows a new set of downs. And Blackwell going to try to make up for it. Blackwell has been by far our most consistent defensive player. I like Omar Thornton. Kind of makes that play. 3rd and 7 now. They're in the shotgun. Martinez around that. Oh, man. Couldn't bring him down, and they get the first. New set of downs. Usering Martinez here. And they go with the read option. We're ready for it. Gain of nothing. 2nd and 10. They're making changes in the backfield. Starts out in the shotgun. And we are going to make the tackle, but they make the catch. Brings us to 3rd and 1. They go with the QB sneak, and they get the first. Once again, they get a new set of downs. We're going to have Blackwell initially. Oh, man, he got popped. Another new set of downs. They are still running it, and this time much more success, and they gain 9. We got KP Price here trying to mess that up, but they get it over to their star receiver. That gets them a new set of downs. We're going to try and stop this run to the outside, and we get them in the backfield. We've done a great job at stopping the run, but these 3rd and longs that we've been giving up could not be more opposite. And they do not hang on. Forces 4th and 11. And they are going to set that kick up. Sneaks it in. Almost missed it right. But UConn does get on the board. First drive of the game. Ate up a lot of this first quarter. Grayson James did have a pretty good game last week. 2 interceptions aren't going to show up on that recap. But we'll start this off. Hand off to Detrell Jones. He gets upfield for the gain of 4. Brings us to 2nd and 6. And we're going to get that over the middle. Franklin gets it first. Jeremiah Franklin has been a security blanket for us in every sense of it. And we're going to get this handoff to McDonald, who gets a block. And Jordan McDonald into their territory. Get it to the fresh back. And Detrell Jones gains 2. 2nd and 8. We're going to get it to Detrell again. He's going to make a move after the catch and get the first. Cam Chadwick, star corner, is hurt. We're going to hand it off to McDonald again, and he's going to fall forward. Gain 2. Brings us to 2nd and 8. Get that out to Lewis Bond. He's got space. He's all alone, and he's into the end zone. Lewis Bond, senior star receiver, gets us on the board. Adding to his amazing season, puts us up 7-3. UConn now sending a man in motion on 1st and 10, and it ends up being a handoff, and they gain 2. The run defense has been very consistent in this one, and we're hoping that they can continue. And here on 2nd and 8, Jalen Blackwell almost had that, but they get a new set of downs going into the second quarter. 1st and 10, going to start it off. Cam Martinez blitz and gets the TFL. Now brings us to 2nd and 13. And they're going to get it out to the running back. Jalen Blackwell's all over it, and they lose 4. Back-to-back TFLs brings us to 3rd and 17. Omar Thornton trying to get off the edge, and eventually they get a catch, but it's not enough for the first. And they're going to have to punt us back the ball. It's now 4th and 5. Not a great punt. We'll take over at the 29. 1st and 10, new set of downs. Going to get that to Jeremiah Franklin. He can't hang on. 2nd and 10, we're going to run it out of the pistol, and Jordan McDonald gets the first. Now, normally I don't love running that like that, but we're going to get that to Reed Harris, and gets a 7. But as I was saying, I don't usually like running out of the pistol. I don't mind running out of the gun. I just feel like the blockers don't always do what you want them to do, like they do there. We get Detrell Jones a very long run, all the way to the 30. No need to risk it. We'll keep it on the ground here. McDonald gains 2. Detrell is now in, and he's going to get the first carry, and he'll gain 4. McDonald is back out here. We've got a pretty heavy personnel, and we're trying to gain only 3 there. They've said to go for it, so go for it we shall. We're going to get that to Detrell. The block set up perfectly, and we are into the red zone. We're just trying to ground and pound, man. No need to risk it. Jordan McDonald falls forward for 1. Because at the end of the day, we're cool with a field goal here, too. We just got to make the defense work. Probably shouldn't have spun off there. Loss of 3 with McDonald. 3rd and 12. Doesn't look like they're covering Franklin, but we can't get it to him. We are going to have to settle for the 3. We'll put it into this better camera angle, and we're going to time that up. They almost block it, but it's up and good. Oh, man, they definitely roughed the kicker there. That's crazy. I think we got to take 1st and goal, but this is a very dangerous scenario here. There's a chance for more, but there's also a chance for less. And we're going to get more. Detrell is in immediately. The run game stayed true. We initially settled for 3, but their penalty is something we can absolutely capitalize on. 1st and 10. We can't wrap them up. Initially gain 6 on the catch. We try to send heavy blitz. Doesn't work out super well. But here we are, 2nd and 4. UConn doesn't know where they want to go. They get it out to the running back, who Jalen Blackwell just leaves open. They need to get a new set of downs. Nearing the 2-minute timeout. They get one last play off. They go into the running back again, and this time, no gain. 2nd and 10. Max Tucker now affects the quarterback's throw, hits him, and it falls incomplete. Linebackers are blitzing here, but UConn doesn't know that. They pick it up okay, but we break it up. Thank goodness. I've decided for realism's sake I'm not going to click on and user pick that, ball hawk it every time. I'm going to let our players make the plays. So 141, definitely got to be careful here. A lot of risk, a lot of reward. We're going to get that out to Skeet. Gain of 6. 2nd and 4. We run a little play action. We're going to throw that up for Bond. Oh! He just doesn't catch it. Announcers are mad at him for it. I'm not too worried. We are going to get it to him here. He falls forward, but he's not going to get it. We're at our 27. I know I shouldn't, but it's 4th and 1. All right, 4th and 1. Yeah. Lewis Bond is just not going to get caught in press. He comes down with an insane grab there. I was thinking he honestly might be able to make that a touchdown. He obviously didn't, but Jordan Montgomery is going to get us first. We're going to call a timeout. I just felt like it was a shot we had to take, and instead of punting, we're now nearing their red zone. We're going to get that to Skeet in motion. He's going to make a nice cut, and we get a lucky timeout. So now we still have 2 timeouts, about 30 seconds left. Detrell is going to make a nice cut. What a read. And he's in for his 2nd touchdown of the day, still doing his dance. I mean, this is just beautiful, beautiful offense. And we're going to now take a 21-3 lead right before the half. Another linebacker blitz back, well, can't get there. The tight end gets wrapped up. UConn only got 1 more timeout in their back pocket. They're going to dump it off underneath, and they're going to get around midfield. Well, this is not an optimal formation. Not sure why it would send me that. It doesn't bite us all the way, but they're now in our side of the field. I don't really know what to do here. All right, the zones are still showing up on the field, but that is going to be the final play. They are not going to get it off before the time runs out. So 21-3 is the score at the half. Got to feel pretty good about ourselves. Lewis Bond, as per usual, is feasting. 3 catches, 69 yards, and a touchdown. Nice. And that touchdown is extra sweet, knowing that we get ball to start the half. This game probably already over. Don't want to get too cocky, though. Going to get that over to Skeet. And, oh, he's got room to move. Gets all the way to the 50. Getting a lot of production from everyone today, but anyone but Jordan McDonald. They've done a very good job on him. That's a horrible idea to press up. You're going to let Lewis Bond. Oh, I didn't throw that in time. Well, it's now 3rd and 19. We're going to run a little screen pass to McDonald. Takes him forever to get the ball, and we only gained 4 on the play. Really just to get us in better punting position. We're going to boot that not that far back, honestly. Just disengage from the block, man. What are we doing? After the meh punt, they're going to set up on 1st and 10 at the 32. UConn now running it again, and we wrap them up. No gain on the play. Cam Edwards, 10 rushes, 9 yards. That's just insane defense. We're not even exactly like blitzing every time or anything. This is a very interesting penalty. I'm not exactly sure. Maybe the legal man downfield? Yeah, that makes sense. We'll obviously take it. I don't know. Maybe 3rd and 10 was better than 2nd and 15. I guess we'll find out. Making some pre-snap adjustments here. And they go over the middle. And, yeah, 3rd and 8 is worse than 3rd and 10. Overall, pretty inconsequential, though. Now, UConn with the 3rd and 8 upcoming. We are all over that. And double coverage leads to a punt. I mean, they're just not even set up trying to stop the run on plays like this. So, McDonald's got to get the carry. He gains 9. I dissed McDonald earlier, but overall, he's had a couple of pretty good carries. And that is not one of them. 3rd and inches. We're going to get that to Jeremiah Franklin. He makes a move, holds on, and gets all the way upfield to the 42 as Logan Taylor is down. Don't love our line getting hurt here, but better than, I guess, our quarterback or our star receiver. But he is great. We're going to have to throw Amir Johnson in there instead, at least until he's feeling better. 2nd and 5. We're going to get the run to Detrell. Detrell gets a great block downfield and gets all the way to the 29. 1st and 10. We're going to run a little play action, and that's a horrible idea. I don't know what I'm doing. We're trying to tackle him. That was a bad idea. We're just going to have to flush that. We're going to move on. Mostly dominating this game, and not anymore, as that's another great completion for a first. We gave UConn life, and they have a real opportunity to make us pay for that pick. We were driving, no need. Oh, speaking of, horrible snap, and we're going to get a free loss of 8 there. I mean, that was crazy, botched snap. Brings us to 2nd and 18. They pick up our blitz perfectly, but we break that pass up. I said I wasn't going to click on, but sometimes it's just instinct. Now we're at 3rd and 18. I think that's pretty bottled up. This is a pretty long field goal. This is no gimme. I believe they've got a pretty accurate kicker behind there, though. And he does sneak it in. Almost wide left, though. So we avoid major damage off the turnover. Still 21-6. Ball's in our court. Just got to keep taking time off the clock. And this is a huge play. Oh, my God. Nate Johnson. Can he go all the way? He's got it! Touchdown, Nate Johnson. What a return. He's a very explosive player. Gotta love Nate Johnson. He gets special teams minutes, and he's clearly making the most of them. Well, there you go. That was a fast response, and it's not 28-3. It's 28-6. Lamar Thornton is going to come off the edge here on a blitz, and they are not going to be affected by it, but the run up the middle is a loss of 2. 2nd and 12. They're going to go out to the running back, gain of 3. At the end of the day, that's the stuff you just have to give up and be okay with. And here they are, 3rd and 9. And that is not going to be complete. It's going to force another punt. Johnson, fresh off of a kick return touchdown, he's going to make a move. No way. Oh, man. I thought he was going to go all the way. They covered it very well. But Jalen Blackwell's hurt. That's not good. They just said that's his sternum that's bruised. So if that's true, he's not coming back into this one. Wouldn't let me go to the left, even though that's where the hole was. This is a very interesting setup here. We're going to get that over to Detrell, and he is going to gain 7. That'll take us to the end of the third quarter. 28-6, feeling great. As we said, this probably wasn't going to be a close game. That's why it's going to be playing Louisville. That's the big one. But here we are, 3rd and 4. This is the big play. Going to get that out to Skeet, and he'll get us a new set of downs inside the 10. And that did confirm Jalen Blackwell is out for the game, possibly more. We'll have to take a look at the health center afterwards. McDonald gains 2 on the rush. 2nd and goal. We're going to get that to Franklin, and Jeremiah Franklin is into the end zone. We're pouring it on. That is definitely the sealer, and I think we're just going to mass sub in the backups, provided that there isn't anybody that I'm trying to redshirt. So we got all of the backups subbed in, made sure none of the red shirts accidentally snuck in. Don't want to lose any of those red shirts. If they're not playing, then I would love to keep their eligibility for another season. Anyways, here we are. One of the few drives that hasn't started off horribly. There's obviously room with the backups to think that UConn probably stands a better chance here. They go off the play fake, and they're going to dump it off to the flat. Gain 2. Even our backups are kind of clamping the UConn offense. We've been playing great all game. Like we said, our real test is next week. Oh, my God, what a jump ball. We've allowed Chris Parker to go absolutely feral. Wow. Somehow they dropped that. Star receiver. And, okay. They had the designed run there. Now 3rd and 5. Clock's ticking down. Game's all but sealed. And we're going to wrap them up. They're now going to have to decide. They're going for it. 4th and 1 is no easy get, though, I got to say. And they're going to try it. Cam Martinez blew that up from the very beginning, and we're going to take over. Willie Malone, I think we've seen that like 4 times. Brings us to 1st and 10. We're going to get that to Johnson. Nate Johnson, after making the great plays on special teams, gets a huge catch. Okay, I get it with the Willie Malone thing. 26-yard catch brings us now to 1st and 10 at 35. Turbo Richard getting through the blocks. Gains 5. Okay, I don't know what's going on with the Willie Malone thing. It just won't stop showing me. Dylan Longerin, too, by the way, in at quarterback. He looks exactly like Grayson James, by the way. I might have to change the accessories. Probably just going to hand it off for most of the rest of the game. Richard gains 3 there. 2nd and 7. We're going to get that out to Richard. He is going to get wrapped up. Gains 4, though. Detrell Jones getting a late game touch here. And all he's going to do is just set up the field goal. And we're going to get that kick up and through. Makes it 38-6. But we chewed a lot of clock. That was most of our plan. We're almost under 2 minutes. And once you get it under there, it's all but over. UConn likely playing the last possession of the game here. They are going to pass as expected. And we got to throw it away. 2nd and 10, huge blitz coming, and we wrap them up for a gain of nothing. That'll bring us to the 2-minute timeout. Now 3rd and 10. Their starters are still out there, so they're clearly still trying. And, wow, that was a bad pursuit angle by me. My fairness, I was trying to cover the whole middle by myself. 1st and 10, sending DB blitzes from both sides. It gets picked up pretty well. Gain of 1 on the run. Brings us to 2nd and 9. Clock is stopped after the injury timeout. And they're going to get it out to their running back. We wrap up. Gain of 4. Now approaching a minute left in the game. And they've dumped off to the running back. They'll get the first. But at the end of the day, this is all just stat padding. At the end, they know it and we know it. We're just going to let them run the clock out. They want to take their time with it. That's cool with me. They're going to little run play here. Under 5 seconds left in the game. Probably the last play here. Going to be a dump off to the halfback. And they drop it. For some reason, we're going to have a little Hail Mary here just to top things off. I think we get the point. But they want to make some adjustments. And they're just going to uncork that bad boy. 4th and 2. And obviously gets batted around. No touchdown there. Didn't matter even if they did. We had this game wrapped up long ago. Detrell Jones is the player of the game. 9 rushes, 73 yards, 2 touchdowns. I see why. You got to feel good about that. We capitalized on an inferior opponent here. That much is for sure. And that is our 6th win. They're talking about it on the broadcast here, but that's our 6th win of the year, so we're bowl eligible. Always fun to get that extra game there. Dylan Lonergan came in relief towards the end. Didn't really have to do too much, but Grayson James did neither. 2 touchdowns, 1 pick, good completion percentage. Very average game from him. Jordan McDonald, our high-usage guy, not super efficient. That was Detrell Jones. He's been that way all season. We're trying to get Jordan McDonald his touches, but life after him does look very good, assuming we can keep someone like Detrell around. Turbo Richard also got a couple of carries late in this one. Nice to get him the ball a bit. And we spread the wealth a lot here. Jaden Skeet led in catches, did not lead in yards. That was Lewis Bond. I believe he had that 3 for 69 at the half as well. Nate Johnson had a nice play. Everything else is pretty much dump-offs, just taking what the defense gives us, but you got to be happy Jeremiah Franklin and Lewis Bond each having a touchdown today. As for the blocking, always held up well. Jude Bowery's the only one who allowed a sack. Nobody got a sack in this game somehow. We didn't get a pick either, just a bunch of TFLs. As you can see here, not a bad completion percentage, but 26 completions for 250. It's not the greatest. 37 attempts, not horrible, but no touchdowns. Obviously, 2 field goals was all they could get. And part of that reason is we hold Cam Edwards 15 attempts, 5 total yards, 0.3 yards per carry. Their quarterback had 3 rushes for 7 yards. They just could not get anything going. They were forced to throw the ball a lot, and when you really look at it, they didn't do a ton, even in that department. So, stellar game. Gotta feel great about that. We do level up, get some more points to spend. Not sure if I covered that in the last episode. We'll sim ahead here, but I did make some changes to our abilities. And we are going to start it off. Stevie Finger, the elite dev player. We've been waiting for it all season. He is committed. He will not be the only one, as Sean Griggs also commits from Middle Village, New York. That's all we got for this week, although we are still looking good. There's a lot of guys that might be looking to transfer. This is something we've been monitoring all year. Playing style matters. Pro potential we can't really fix yet. A couple guys at risk for playing time. And, Jude Bowery's senior season might be gone. Lockwood, Warner might be gone. And these are guys that have, huge roles projectedly in the next season. And this is, again, us as 6-1 team. We're about to go through a very difficult schedule. Louisville is still winning. They are the number 14 team in the nation. Looking at the conference standings, if we win this, it would put us in first place for the conference for sure, as we would hold that tiebreaker over Louisville. We will go take a quick look at recruiting before we do anything else. Obviously, could not be happier that Stevie Finger has committed. Elite dev player is going to be so great for this program. We're putting him at the top. We're also very happy about Sean Griggs. Normal dev player, obviously, but 92 strength will play. He'll definitely be a developmental player, but I'm sure we'll be able to get some of those ratings up. Ryan Silverman, as we said, week 8 visit. That went very well. He saw us whoop UConn, and that'll put us in a pretty good spot to earn his commitment, probably after this week. I am going to take a second here to use all these hours because we do have so many, and I'll recap it at the end. Having seen that we were potentially going to lose a quarterback to the transfer portal, I went and scouted a bunch of other guys. Derek Terry was somebody that we had already had on our board. Good short accuracy off the rip, good throw power. I guess more throw power. Not going to wow you with anything physically. We also scouted Parker Clapp, 87 throw power, 82 speed, 88 excel. He's kind of my backup option. Connor Jefferson is just better in every way. 91 throw power, 88 speed, 85 excel. This is a guy who could play off the bat. Look at those ratings. 85 short accuracy, 85 medium accuracy, 81 deep accuracy. We're talking about a freshman incoming with those ratings. I don't care what else he has going on. So hopefully that and 50 points will be enough to get us on his board. These are our backup options. If not, I also went and threw a bunch of points on guys like Brad Kane. I'm not sure how much I highlighted him. Very good speed off the bat. Not a ton else to him, but we like that speed. We need someone who's going to hit the holes. That's kind of the Detrell Jones role, and if Detrell's role gets bigger or he looks to transfer, we've got someone like Brad Kane. We also threw some points at Marquise Bearden. Speed in the secondary is needed. This guy has a high floor that way. Not great ratings, decent press, I guess. Developmental corner for sure. Obviously, we love our Alex Barbosa, but Tim Smith, another safety. This guy's a gem, 3-star. Not a ton of speed off the bat, but if we were to put him, in the box, as they say, probably would put him at strong safety. He might fit in better there. I'd probably put Alex Barbosa, the coverage specialist, at free safety anyway, so just flipping these two gems. I would feel great about adding them to the team. But that's the update for recruiting. And now let's look ahead to our game against Louisville. Louisville started their year off whooping FCS Southeast. They lost to a 7-0 James Madison team. But other than that, it's been smooth sailing. They destroyed Bowling Green. They made pretty convincing work of Pittsburgh, Virginia, and Miami. And now we are the next in their way. This is a huge, huge matchup for the conference. Could be a preview of the conference championship. You never know. They are slightly better overall than us. Slightly better offense. Pretty significant, though, on the defensive side. And you'll see that when we look at the roster. They are led by their quarterback, Miller Moss. 1,300 yards, 17 touchdowns to 3 interceptions on the year. He has been magnificent. Isaac Brown, a very, very good running back in his own right. He is filthy, averaging almost 7 yards a carry. Not a ton of touchdowns. Those seem to get vultured by Keywan Brown. Duke Watson is hurt as well. He is another great playmaker. They will miss him severely. As for the receivers, Tracian Hurry is their primary target. Colin Lacey is obviously their highest rated at an 88. I stand corrected. Chris Bell at an 89 immediately proved me wrong there. They also have Jacob Stewart as their physical tight end. He's contributed well to their passing game. They've got a pretty decent line. I would say Pete Nigra is probably the captain of it, as he is the highest rated. Although Renato Brown has a ton of snaps, as well as Jordan Church, without too many sacks given up. They are interior players at guard, but still, not something to be slouched about. Their interior line is great. As for their pass rush, Clev Lubin and Stanquan Clark are going to be coming off. Well, Kev Lubin is more of an edge, and Clark is more of a linebacker over the middle. Their defensive backs are not crazy overalls, but not to be slept on either. And I am going to show coach abilities. Not sure if I showed buying motivator and getting the off-season work. QBs are going to get an off-season training boost. Definitely am excited for that, because as we see here, we got every position besides special teams to scout quicker. So I feel like it would be wise to try and do this too. I think the O-line is what needs to happen next. That's enough stalling. You know what this matchup means. Huge, huge conference matchup. Trying to get Louisville their first loss in conference play and their first loss to a non-undefeated team all season. Going up against a top 15 team in the nation. I'm shaking in my boots a little bit here. We will have Louisville wear that jersey, and we will wear our current aways to counter that. Cardinal Pride. I didn't mention this one is on the road. I think you could probably tell based on the uniform choices. But this is possibly some NFL talent in this game. Pretty big matchup here in L&N Stadium. I'm hyped to get into it. We are going to start by kicking off. Feel pretty good about this one, though. At boot up, and we are underway. On the road, big game against a ranked opponent. We're going to find out a lot about this team today. We know Miller Moss. We've seen the stats. Completion percentage isn't crazy, though, so accuracy is a little erratic. 1st and 10, Louisville's going to start with a handoff, and Jalen Blackwell returns. Glad to have him back. I didn't check to see his injury, but clearly it was not a multi-week injury. He is back for this one. Unfortunately, can't help us Oh, and just as I said it, he's hurt. That's awesome. Well, I obviously shouldn't have said anything, but we're going to get that dropped in the backfield. Ashton McShane on the play. Brings us to 2nd and 13. I'm not sure exactly what they got going on here. Very good catch on the sideline. Gets it to a 3rd and 1. 3rd and 1. Yeah, nice little QB sneak. They get the first. I'm glad to see that teams are using that logic, making sense with their play calls. 3rd and 1, we gave you that ability, and they took advantage. Now they get a run for 5. 2nd and 5, we got Cam Martinez here off the edge. He's going to blitz unexpectedly. Could have blown up the play action, didn't, and they're going to get the first. 1st and 10, they play action fake it. They're going to throw the deep shot into double coverage, and we nearly pick it off. 2nd and 10, got double DB blitz again. Somebody's going to have to get home, and they are going to eventually get wrapped up with a gain of 1. Brings us to 3rd and 9 now. Louisville. Oh, they're taking a deep shot, and they can't get it. Thank God. They're now going to punt it from their 39. This will probably be a field goal attempt in the NFL. Touchback brings out our offense. Grayson James, our leader. We got a good stop. Let's try not to blow it, all right? We're going to get that to McDonald, and Jordan McDonald gains 2. 2nd and 8. We are going to get good blocks there, and McDonald gets the first. McDonald staying out there, and the way the line's set up, we're going to stick with the run and gain 5. 2nd and 5, making some adjustments at the line. Going to get that out to Zeke Moore, and he falls forward for the first. 1st and 10 again. Couldn't get outside. We lose 2. 2nd and 12 now. Not a great pass there, but still get it to Bond, and he still gets the first. Very worried that wasn't going to make it there, or worse would be a more bad mistake. I don't know what I'm talking about. Gain of 4 on the run. After the gain of 4, I say, let's just go back to him. And we're going to get a first and more. Fighting all the way to the 31 is McDonald. We're keeping it on the ground, and McDonald is getting a lot of carries here. We are unfortunately not going to gain anything on that one, and Zeke Moore is hurt. 2nd and 10. We're going to get that to Jeremiah Franklin. He almost wasn't ready for it. What? He fumbles? Okay, yeah, whatever, Zeke Moore. What just happened there? So we get it to Franklin. He's not really ready for it. He's fighting for the first, and the ball comes out. Is the knee down? I can't tell if the knee is coming down as the ball is coming out, but that's like as the knee hits, the ball comes free. You know what I mean? I don't know if this is worth reviewing or not, because the ball's here, and that's, you see, as the knee hits, it's coming free, but I don't think we're going to win a challenge there. I'm not sure if it's really worth a timeout either. It was such a good drive, but I don't think we're going to win that challenge, and it's really not worth wasting a timeout, and they are already moving. We knew Isaac Brown was going to be a highlight impact type of player, and on this play action fake, they are going to throw it incomplete though. 2nd and 10. And they run it right up the middle and lose 2. Amar Thornton has been a great playmaker on this defense. Now he's kind of sitting in the middle with, Jalen Blackwell out. Isaac Brown trying to make something happen, but he only gains 5 on the run, and they are going to be forced to punt. Are they going to hike it? They will. So the punt will bring us to the end of the first quarter. Nate Johnson back there for the fair catch. So after the end of the first quarter, still tied 0-0. Nobody can get on the board. This is going to be a defensive slugfest, but we are ready for it. Running backs are pretty even in terms of output. We'll take that. 1st and 10 handoff going to McDonald, and he gains 8. 2nd and 2. They blow that up. Jeez. Loss of 2 in the backfield. 3rd and 4. They are super pressed up. I think Lewis Bond has a shot. We're going to get it to him. And he hangs on. What a catch, Lewis Bond. That is an absolutely massive catch. Keeps the drive going. And no room for McDonald on this one. Loss of 1. Going to try another run, this time to a different side. And it works out better. Gain of 8 on the play. 3rd and 3. They're clearly expecting the pass, and we're going to get it to Jeremiah Franklin and get the first, but not without Connor Short going down. After that stoppage in play, we're going to try and get it to McDonald. Only gains 1 on the run. 2nd and 9. Skeet was kind of open. Didn't really have anything. They blanketed us. 3rd and 9. We're going to get that to Lewis Bond, and it's only going to get 2 there. Sets us up for a field goal, though, which we will take that. I am not going to complain about points. We will take the lead and put the first points of the game on the board. Obviously, you wish it could be more than just a 3-0 game, but considering the quality of our opponent and the fact that we're playing on the road, I am going to be a lot happier than, if we were playing somebody like UConn. 1st and 10. They send that running back in motion. Isaac Brown does get it eventually. Cam Martinez tries to tackle, but eventually gets wrapped up. Gain of 2. 2nd and 8 now. They are going to hand it off. Isaac Brown cannot find the hole. He loses 1 on the play. KP Price was the one who made the TFL. And they send their wide out in motion, and they hand it to Brown. He almost fakes us, but the gain of 6 is not enough. Brings it to 4th and 3, and we're going to get yet another Louisville punt. And Nate Johnson, again, not going to have the opportunity to return. We'll take it, getting it at the 26, though. No complaints here. And wow, that was almost really bad. Oh, nice move. McDonald gets another first. Yeah, that was absolutely beautiful. Going to get that out to Lewis Bond, and we'll gain 9 on the catch. 2nd and 1, we're going to get it to McDonald. He gets it not just the first, all the way to the 44. Making it past midfield is always a good sign on your drives, and we get held up by our own linemen. Otherwise, we would have had a hole. Detrell Jones finally checks in. I believe this is going to be his first carry of the game. Blocks hold up not at all for him, and we gained 1. 3rd and 9, they're super pressed up, but Bond is able to get some separation. He gets the first, and that'll bring us to the 2-minute timeout. Some very excellent football is being played here. It's now 1st and 10. We're going to get that to Jeremiah Franklin, but he cannot hang on. They're definitely well defended. McDonald can't get anything on that play. 3rd and 9. We're going to get that to Skeet. Oh, just didn't get it to him at the right angle there. It's 4th and 3. I think we got to go for another field goal here. Kick is going to be up, and it's going to be through. You want to get touchdowns. You don't want to get field goals. But, hey, we haven't allowed a touchdown or score of any kind. We'll be very thankful and grateful for what we get. Minute 16 to go here. Theoretically, Louisville still has a chance to score. And they are going to start off with a gain of 5 on the catch. They're immediately going into the hurry-up. Now we're going to have Cam Martinez blitzing off the edge. Ooh, that's a broken tackle. Doesn't hurt us too bad other than gaining the first. Still a minute to go, but Louisville down to 1 timeout. And they're going to complete that over the middle for 5. Now under 50 seconds. 2nd and 5. Running back eventually ducks out after pass blocking. They gain the first and use their final timeout. Brings us to a new set of downs. 1st and 10. The play fake. Dump off to the running back. Tackle him in bounds. And we are chilling. We're going to send a heavy blitz on him. And the pressure is going to get there. Not before Isaac Brown gets some space. And it's now 24 seconds left. Clock is ticking. Now down to 10 seconds left. They snap it. It's another play fake. And we are there tackling him in bounds. They are going to have to try and rush back to the line. But again, they're not going to be able to. And that is the half. You got to feel good about this game. I mean, we are not the favored team. We have been playing great all season. But this is our first real test, a real ranked opponent, not some number 3 team without their Heisman candidate quarterback missing. You know this. Football's a game of 2 halves, and we don't want to be the type of team that starts off with a good amount of momentum and then lets it fizzle. Here we are. And we've got Jordan McDonald on the carry, gains 6. 2nd and 4. Going to get that to Zeke Moore. and he gets us a first. I think that was Ty Lockwood, actually. So, my bad, sir. We're going to get that up the middle. McDonald gets another first. And the reason that was Lockwood was because of the injury to Zeke Moore. He still hasn't come back. 1st and 10. Going to run a little play action. We're going to get that to Lockwood. And he hangs on for the catch of 8. Gotta love Ty Lockwood. And we're going to get this to McDonald. Somehow only gains 1 on that. 3rd and 1. We're going to get that to Jeremiah Franklin. He's going to catch it and not fumble this time. Thank you very much. 1st and 10. We're going to try and get that to McDonald. Did he catch that? Oh, my God, he's still on his feet. How did Jordan McDonald come down with that? I don't know how that's possible. A receiver making that type of a catch is one thing. When it's your running back, it's a whole nother ball game. Turbo Richard gets 7 on his first carry. Jordan McDonald now again here. Oh, he just cannot get space. Loses 2 on the play and multiple injuries on both sides. 3rd and 5. Gonna try and confuse him with the RPO. And McDonald gets it to 4th and inches. Brutal. They want us to take the field goal. I'm not going to lie. I don't know if we can make this field goal, but we're going to try. Yeah, that's awful. I lined that up all the way to the right, and we still couldn't do it. And they're going to take over at the 20. Oh, that sucks so much. I'm not over that. Designed QB run doesn't work well at all. They lose 2. You know, he's the guy calling the plays. You'd think he'd know what the play is, right? Isaac Brown hits that hole, but not going to get much more than 4. Defense still playing great as we near the end of the 3rd quarter. Over halfway through now. Okay. Not sure why the double coverage didn't want to link up on him there, but they get a huge gain. They're now near midfield. Louisville on their first real good drive of the game, and McGowan takes him down, only a gain of 1. 2nd and 9. We're trying to overload them there, and instead they get a RPO all the way up to the 26, and Quintavious Hutchins is hurt, one of our most impactful defensive players. Oh, nice play. Jalen Blackwell making his presence felt with the sack. I don't know how long he's been back for, maybe just that play, but we're going to get another pressure on the quarterback, and it's now 3rd and 15. That was KP Price on the play. And like we said, 3rd and 15. Huge play here. They're going to try and go over the middle to the tight end. We had 3 guys there. Brings us to 4th and 8. Unfortunately, Quintavious Hutchins is going to be out for the remainder of the game, hoping for not too long of an injury there. And Louisville trying to make it a 6-3 game. Will succeed. They pump that right through the uprights. We're still up 3. So bend but don't break is working. We got Detrell Jones back out here for the kick return. And the blocks don't set up great, but Detrell's at least able to get to the 26. We got Jordan McDonald in the backfield. We're going to get him that handoff, and he is going to get us 10 yards. I was going to say he gets us the first. He didn't there, but he will on this one. And a lot more. He's into Cardinal territory. Likely the last play before the end of the quarter, and McDonald runs it for 6. We could hike it, but I didn't really feel the need to rush that. It'll take us into the 4th quarter. So 6-3 lead. We've got the ball in midfield. Obviously, the game is in our control here. Shout out to SMU being the number 4 ranked team in the country right now. We play them not too shortly. 2nd and 4. We're going to get it to McDonald again, and he can only gain 2. McDonald is still out there. I mean, he is our cowbell back, and this time we're going to get the first, countering, running to that right side. 26 carries for McDonald, and he's still there in the backfield. This is pretty brutal here. Don't love any of that. Glad we were able to just throw that away. 2nd and 10. Real interesting play. We're going to try and run with James, but he gets tackled for nothing. Well, you don't love that. We're going to get that underneath to Skeet. Oh, man. Gets us to a 4th and inches. They want us to kick the field goal? I don't think so, man. It's 4th and inches. Let's see if we can't get it. McDonald falls forward. What a huge play. I don't know why the auto subs aren't kicking McDonald out of this game. Detrell should be getting a lot more carries. We're going to get 2, I guess, on that run. 2nd and 8. Going to get that over the middle for Jeremiah Franklin, and he'll fall forward. It's now 3rd and inches, and we're going to get that to McDonald. Falls forward again, and is now at the 5. This is probably going to kill his yards per rush or whatever, but he gains 4 on that one. That's 30 rushes for McDonald. I mean, he's the workhorse. He deserves this touchdown. And he's going to fall in and get it. Took 31 rushes, got 143 yards with it, and he finally got his touchdown. Easily been the player of this game so far. So that's a 2-score lead with 5 minutes to go in the game. We are very comfortable, but we cannot let them off easy. We got to go hard all the way to the end. Thank God we wrapped up there. They're going to take over at the 31. 1st and 10, and Jalen Blackwell makes them redirect. And they still are able to gain 7. Isaac Brown, such a playmaker. As we said, 2nd and 3, handoff to Brown. Blackwell starts by interrupting it, and they gain 3. Not enough for the first. And I got to feel like they're doing this little QB sneak. They are, and they get the first. Lamar Thornton is going to be the blitzer off the edge here. We were counting on the play action, and instead they're going to gain 10 and a new set of downs. 1st and 10. Oh, man, batted down at the line. What a play. KP Price as well. On the other side, we've got a blitzer, and we are able to force pressure and break that up. Sets us up at 3rd and 10 now. Pretty much the end of this drive will determine the result of the game, and that's not a great start for Louisville. 4th and 10, last real shot here for Louisville. We're all over it, and we bat it down. Turnover on down sets us up real nice. Turbo Richard now getting a carry, and he will gain 4. Louisville's already using timeouts. They know that if they don't get this ball back here, they're probably not gonna. Again, they no ball, as we're going to get up the field with Richard. They're going to use another timeout. You can't stop this. You're down 10, you don't have the ball, and we're already in field goal range, so you just give up. Whatever. Richard is going to have a lot of these carries here, mainly because I assume our boy McDonald is hurt. Brings us to 3rd and 10. Now we've got Detrell Jones out here. This is going to be the final play before we take it to the 2-minute timeout. It's going to set us up perfectly for a field goal. Apparently that's not what we're going to do. They want us to go for it because it's 4th and 4. I am totally cool with that, and that didn't work out at all. Had Skeet made that catch, we would have already kneeled down and ended this game. So, in a way, it's not fully over, but under 2 minutes to go. They're down 2 scores. It's everything but. And we got Blackwell on that, and we get the pressure in, and we get the deflection. But coming in here on the road and holding up the way our defense has is impressive. Their defense was no slouch. I mean, they held us to 13, and we're a pretty potent offense. But it's now 1st and 10. We've got pressure coming in. We finally get the sack. That's Jalen Blackwell again. The man, the myth, the legend himself. I mean, he's all over the field. That was horrible coverage. Gives up a first. 1st and 10. We've got 6 blitzing off, and we've got a free blitzer. It's Jalen Blackwell again. His 3rd sack. He's just such a great player for us. 3 sacks in 1 game, in which he was hurt, by the way. In that scenario, it gets us to 3rd and 7. I mean, 3rd and 7 with 40 seconds to go. You can't exactly be too worried. They throw a jump ball. Their receiver won't come down with it. It's now 4th and 7. So it's now 4th and 7. Another heavy blitz. It gets picked up, and they are still driving, but under 30 seconds to go. They need multiple scores just to even tie. 2nd and 10. 26 seconds left. Can we still keep the no touchdown streak alive. At least in this play we can. 3rd and 10. 21 seconds left. This would be the game right here. It's a jump ball again, and their receiver comes down with it. What a play. Kavlin Lacey. What a catch. It's going to make this look a lot closer than it was. A touchdown in the final 30 seconds just to throw on. But, hey, this is not over. I thought that was the onside kick. It's not. We're not in formation. Oh, my God. Oh, my God. All right, well, all of a sudden, this is a 3-point game, and we could lose. We're not going to do ourselves any favors, apparently. Cam Martinez could have secured that ball, and we would be kneeling it out right now, but it's 13-10, and they're going to get it out to Isaac Brown. 7 seconds left, but 3rd and 7. They're going for a big play here, and they set it up. 2 seconds left. The clock is going to stay stopped because they had just got the first down, and they're going to try, and they run out of time. All right, thank the Lord. That was way closer than that was supposed to be, but we win a very ugly defensive battle, and I think this is going to bode really well, not just for our recruits. We should be a contender now. Jordan McDonald, we already know the load that he carried today. That was phenomenal. But let's start looking at their team. Miller Moss threw the ball a lot. We're forcing teams, playing from behind to do so. His 1 touchdown came at the end. I'd say we did a good job on him. Isaac Brown is a phenomenal player. So 14 for 66. I feel pretty good about that. We did get killed on a couple of plays, but I would say for the most part, aside from Colin Lacey's touchdown, we held up pretty well. We only got 1 sack allowed apparently here, but I know we got more sacks. We didn't throw an interception. We'll look at all of our stats here in a second, and that's going to start with Grayson James, 15 of 19 to 169. We weren't trying to throw the ball. They knew it. We knew it. We also know that we got the man, Jordan McDonald here, 4.6 per carry, touchdown, 143 yards. Obviously, our bell cow, player of the game, but more importantly, we just dominated in the trenches against a serious top 15 opponent. That's a great omen. We got Lewis Bond the ball for a couple of pretty important catches. Jordan McDonald had that one crazy catch on red zone scissors or whatever. We didn't allow a sack. Logan Taylor was hurt in this game and had 12 pancakes, so again, love that. Jalen Blackwell had all 3 of our sacks. Again, no interceptions and 3 TFLs, obviously. Those are the sacks, I'm assuming. But we'll absolutely take that. We feel great about that. Really reinforcing our championship contender. We're not just playing around here. We'll skip ahead. We got next week against Notre Dame, if I'm not mistaken. And we have some good news. Ryan Silverman, the edge, who we were expecting to commit, does commit. And we are still moving up the boards of those guys. Jude Bowery, still risk of transfer, as is Lockwood, Cole Warner, Malone. And again, we're the 20th ranked team in the nation right now. I feel like we deserve a little bit more respect. Thank you for Jalen Blackwell getting ACC Defensive Player of the Week. We feel good about that. Notre Dame is coming off a loss. That does not feel great. We've got a lot going on here, though. Sean Griggs was our recent commit, but now Ryan Silverman commits. You got to feel good about that. We got a lot more hours here. Derek Terry did lock us out, but that's okay, because we have Connor Jefferson here. We are now 4th on his board, so we'll make it through the top 5. We're the only one that's offering him a real offer so far. I think if we just stay consistent with our offer, we should be able to get him into our program. We're 1st for Brad Kane, 3rd for Bearden. That's good. Tim Smith, the only team that's offered him, and Barbosa were pretty heavily in the lead there too. Javon Larkin is our last 4-star that we're really targeting besides Joel Olaseni. I would say this guy is probably someone you move to tight end, but I don't know. He might be too good to stick at receiver. He's definitely a contested catch guy. We just have enough of those. I feel pretty good Honestly, we've got a scheduled Week 11 visit for him. That's our game against SMU, currently the number 3 team in the nation. That's kind of crazy. But, yeah, we're going to take a look at some other positions, see other guys that we might want to offer at. Calvin McDuffie, gap specialist. He's 89 strength, 84 tackle. I think that warrants an offer, maybe 25 points, just because nobody else is really throwing anything at him. And these guys are pretty much just backup options in case things don't go well with these other recruitments. I'm definitely going to wrap this episode up shortly, but I am going to spend our recruiting hours before we do that. All right, and we used all of our hours again. Not much changed here. We did add Philip Ring to the board. He is a 3-star gem. Got some pretty good abilities there. 90 strength to start out. And 82 power moves, 84 hit power, 81 tackle. We feel very good about that. We already talked about Connor Jefferson and Brad Kane. Richard O'Shaughnessy, impact dev, corner, boundary. Again, probably better in zone than man. Decent athlete. Nothing too crazy, but moldable. A moldable player. That's what we need on this team. We feel good about Calvin McDuffie, too. He's a little bit more raw, but still 89 strength. Great starting place. Good building block. Bearden, we dropped him down to 25 points. I still feel good about him, but he's just not great in coverage, so he's a little bit more developmental. Want to prioritize other guys. Devontae Spear, speaking of guys with really good abilities, only 88 strength, not as crazy as a 90 with a gem, but I feel good about throwing points on him. We scouted a lot at that position because we were going to be losing like 4 or 5 guys at D-tackle, so I want to make sure we're bringing in a good amount of players, very well-rounded class, but we've got good targets, pretty much one at each position, 1 or 2, and again, the ones that we have multiple at are positions of need, like D-tackle is an area we need to get commits at, but I would say pretty well-rounded. We're still like a 3-star program, so we're going to be better than a school that's not in the ACC or something. That's how we're able to lock up 6 4-stars like we are, including Stevie Finger. That's one of the best parts of this episode. We don't know the strength, but we know the run block finesse and pass block finesse are great. He's a great agile blocker. His impacts blocking is at 90. I mean, we feel great about him. Quandre Cotton, we feel great about. Joey Fantuz, Brian Vernon, Sean Griggs, Ryan Silverman. We're not in the top 15, but if we go to the ACC, we are top 25. Although I do think that this will climb a good amount once we start locking up 3-star prospects as well. Those commitments should go through quicker. SMU is technically ahead of us, but that's because they have 9 3-stars signed. We have the 3rd most number of 4-stars committed. Virginia Tech and Pitt are the only ones that, come up close after that. So I'd say I feel very good about where we're at. We've obviously got a big game against Notre Dame in the next episode, but finally becoming a ranked team. Obviously, Louisville is still ranked 17. Even though we beat them. I don't know what to think of that, honestly. But you know what? It is what it is. Conference standings is what helps me relax. We're 4-1 in conference play, 7-1 on the year, leading the ACC. That's how well we're doing right now. And we found out a good amount about this team. We can win on the road in an uncomfortable climate against a very highly ranked team. The only question now is, can we do it again? We're going to have to go up against 3 ranked teams as of how the conference looks right now. I love how this series has started, though. We're really having to earn our spot in the rankings. But that's all I have for you. In the next episode, we're obviously going to take on Notre Dame. They are a wildly higher overall team than us, and this is for a bowl game, too. Not a bowl game. It's like a rivalry, but I forget what the rivalry is called. Whatever. You see this trophy. It means something. And, again, we're playing a team in Notre Dame that is so far head and shoulders above what we can expect overall-wise. So it'll be a great test. I can't wait to play them in the next episode, and I will catch you all there. Take care.